snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Bulls touchdown.
Here he goes. It's Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Deshaun Jackson back in the lineup. Missed the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards. A somersault into the end zone. His first touchdown of the season.
You're listening to the Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews.
All right. Dealing with a little bit of technical difficulties. Just found out that we cannot go live on Twitter without a premium account, so I am going to be signing into mine because I do have a verified account. Ben, you can ad-lib for us, though.
Yeah, no, that's wild. Didn't know that one, guys.
Dude, ridiculous.
Big week for us, me and you specifically, but for a wide group of people. We'll get into that a little bit. But we'll start off where we start off each and every week with me, I guess. Ryan usually cues me in, but he's busy right now. Nice calm week, guys. Not much has happened. I'm holding the mic today. We did a lot of cleaning this weekend. I had misplaced my mic stand, so we'll see how that one goes. But college football. We're gonna get into it a little bit more a little bit later on in the episode and everything. But the new college football game is absolutely fantastic. Me and Ryan have a strong disagreement. I don't want to say strong disagreement, but we definitely disagree on how it's gonna go here on Dynasty, which is absolutely wild. But Ryan has been grinding away. He also dominated me yesterday in head-to-head. But that's besides the point. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that one. But, Ryan, how are you doing?
Dude, I'm on vacation. And let me tell you, it's going exactly the way that I had planned it.
Really quick.
Yeah,
if you guys are from, like, the northwestern Indiana region, hopefully you guys are all good from the storm. Sad to hear about the lady who had passed in Lowell due to the storm. Did you hear about this?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so Northwestern Indiana, for those who don't know, Northwestern Indiana, was it Monday night? I think it was Monday night. Maybe
Tuesday night. Tuesday night.
It was Tuesday night. Got smacked hard with storms. A tree had
it was
fallen.
Monday night. I'm sorry.
It was Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. A tree had fallen on a lady's house in Lowell and killed her.
Wow.
Which is wild. But if you guys were affected by the storms, sad to hear about that. Get better. Play some college football. It'll definitely bring your spirits up. Ryan, how you doing?
Yes. Yeah. So absolutely doing phenomenal. I mean, like I said, I'm having the time of my life playing this game. My vacation time, right? I was just diving into that, is going exactly the way that I had planned it. I was telling everybody I am planning on doing absolutely nothing but eating junk food and sitting in front of my TV and playing this game until I can't anymore. I got some laundry done, doing some responsible stuff still,
I did something.
and amongst other things as well, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm getting some much needed rest. Your boy got a new chair too, because my butt started hurting because I was sitting in the other one for so long and it just wasn't comfortable, no cushion anymore. So I just started getting another one. I got a new headset so I could hear the game better because my other one was dying out. I'm spoiling myself with money that people would normally spend on a vacation, but instead I'm doing it budget wise, and I'm doing it the right way, in my opinion. And ultimately, so everybody should know, if they've listened to the podcast before, I'm not the biggest college football, fan per se.
Not that he doesn't like it, he just hasn't been able to get into it.
Exactly. Yeah, not yet. I would like to be,
Yeah.
it's just I haven't had the opportunity or made the opportunity to really do my research and have fun. You do not have to be a huge fan to like this game.
Mm-mm.
So just continue listening because we'll be talking about it a little bit more in the episode. Nonetheless, we are talking about professional football in this primarily. So this is something, there are a couple things that we'll talk about that one we've talked about already. And then some frustration stuff, a little
Yeah.
bit of sad stuff, and then just like cool. But after that is breaking into fun. But Ben, what you got?
Yeah, really quick. I feel hopefully he's in here, but me, Matt, and Ryan have been hanging out in Discord for like 3 days straight now at this point, whenever we get a chance. Matt had bought a Texas State hat because that was his dynasty team.
Yep.
And now he's no longer the head coach at Texas State.
Dude. Yeah. We'll dive in. We'll dive in. Yeah. I don't want to spoil too much as far as our college football 25 segment. And I know this is not normally something that we'll talk about, but just to kind of hype up the release of the game that has been put off for too much time. We're obviously very excited about this. It's a long off season, and guys, training camp is just starting. So this is when a lot more fun is going to be coming out. We're just a couple weeks away from football games.
We got to
preseason football, August 1st.
Right? The first touchdown that Caleb Williams throws, no matter if it's 40-yard bomb or a 5-yard out, it needs to be replaced with a Justin Fields clip.
So I was thinking about it, and anybody who's listening, I would appreciate their input. I was thinking about a change to the intro altogether. So, there's a lot of moments now in the episodes to where I can compile up a kind of like a pigskin project, hot takes or funny moments or something to where we can use the audio from our podcast into the intro and keep the background music in it. Just something to keep track of, either that or we just keep the football intro of the actual, favorite teams and stuff like that. We could do a little bit of both. Let me know what you guys think. Because I'm on vacation. I can put it together. Literally, I'm probably gonna need a break at some point from playing college football because I've got over 20 hours already in the first 2 days.
This game came out 48 hours ago.
And I've already played it. Yeah, I've already played it more than I've played like the show, and that came out when, like, forever ago. Anyways, all right, let's get right into our first segment.
Ryan and Ben bring you weekly news.
All right, so Brandon Ayuk reiterated his trade request. This was like breaking news all over the place. I feel like people were so hungry for football news to where every major news outlet was like, oh my gosh, Brandon Ayuk just made a trade request. He did it already. We already talked about it
like a month ago.
This is not something new. It's just contract negotiations broke down, and this guy was like, hey, guess what? Still want to trade. So, this is something that is not new whatsoever, so I don't feel like we have to cover it very much. But
I will say, people in the comments, if you guys are watching live, let us know. If you were starting a team, would you guys rather have Brandon Ayuk or Amon-Ra St. Brown? I got in this debate. Just let us know in the comments. We could talk about it after a couple of people say something. But anyways.
Yeah, we did get in a discussion. Hey, we talk about football all the time. That's why I made the podcast in the first place. So, anyways, the next point, Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison was arrested on suspicion of drunk driving after being caught asleep near the wheel near LAX. Okay. 2 days later, he posted a picture of him drinking by himself. Ben, I'm going to let you talk first before I say my piece because we're going to try to stay as professional as possible. I want your perspective on it first before I say anything that might be repetitive.
Yeah, no, this, again, we try to like stay away from this kind of stuff for the most part, like Ryan was saying. We try to keep the the vibes
Good
here on
vibes.
the podcast pretty light. But it's a frustrating situation when you take into account what had happened a week before that with his teammate. You know, his teammate, not even a week after or a week before, had died due to a drinking and driving accident. And a week later after that had happened, you're doing that exact thing. And, you know, again, I don't want to get too much into it, but it's just sad, man.
Frustrating. I'm not asking for a punishment by any means. I don't think anybody needs to be punished here. And who knows the amount of pain that comes with your teammates dying, especially as their dream becomes a reality. But nonetheless, if this is something that needs help, I pray that Jordan Addison goes and finds it. Because, you know, if alcohol is becoming a problem for such a young player in the league as well, you're not wanting something bad to happen to Jordan Addison that could end in a massive mistake. So I hope that he kind of resolves this if this is an issue. Nonetheless, it is pretty ridiculous, I will say, that, you know, you should at least be able to know your limits and where the line is, especially, you know, now more than ever after how, you know, finding out how real the situation is after your teammate passes. So very frustrating. But anyways, next up, again, we like to keep it a little bit higher up, but this is the last like lower vibe one. And paying our respects as well this week to former Ravens wide receiver Jacoby Jones, who passed away sadly at the age of 40. Way too young for anybody to pass away. You know, and ultimately as a return man, you know, it's something that, you know, after a big play as well that he's known for, and Ben can kind of expand more on it. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's also cool to see the community kind of come together and kind of celebrate the life of him after something like that happened. But at the same time, way too early. You never want to see that for anybody. I don't know. Ben, do you have any other comments?
No, you covered it. Again, I mean, he has one of the best returns literally in the history of the game, that Super Bowl with the Ravens. And again, like you said, it's just real sad to see someone, you know, their life get taken at that young. So,
and then the last note, Titans are signing free agent safety Jamal Adams. So that's, you know, cool if you're a Titans fan, I guess, but hilarious if you're a Bears fan, because I don't think that that's going to stop us at all. We're winning week 1, dang it. I will die on this hill. We're winning week 1. Anyways, you know, because Ben's so passionate about rookie quarterback. Anyway, we're done here. Let's go to our next segment.
You think you know football? Well, prove it. This is Pigskin Pick'em.
We're not doing Bears yet. And we're not doing Bears yet. That's always one of the last teams that we do. I mean, we've done it for the last 2 years now. You know, we got to keep the tradition rolling. However, I will say, okay, before getting into either team, I went according to my my predictions. So I'm trying to stay as consistent as possible, right? And what I'd like to do is put out something on TikTok of both of our predictions and each division standings and stuff like that going into the season, just to kind of hype it up. Stay tuned for that. If you miss any episodes, we'll kind of summarize it later on. But what I'm trying to do is stay as consistent as possible, so when I punch this in, it makes sense on a week-to-week basis. So what I did is, according to my predictions throughout Pigskin Pick'em this offseason, I kept it consistent with the Patriots and the Bills, and neither team I've been very high on. So all I have to say, if you're either a fan of either team, please buckle up. It's not going to be a fun season, according to me, and if I'm right, it's not going to be good at all. And I will say this, especially if you're a Bills fan, after what the last few seasons have been, this one's going to be a huge letdown, but
it's going to be a tough
I could
watch.
be wrong. It could be wrong. But anyways, we're starting off with the Patriots. Ben, you want to start us off?
Yeah. like you were saying, it's going to be rough seasons for both of them. Again, we've talked about the Bears a couple times. We all know kind of how I feel with the rookie quarterback situation. Whether or not May starts at all for the Pats, I think he'll do it eventually. What?
That he might not start? Is that a conversation? I haven't been following.
Well, not that he might not start, but it's like he's not gonna. I think it's more of a conversation on if he's gonna start like week 1.
Okay.
Because of Jacoby.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean Jacoby's one of the best backups in the entire league, so it's just a matter of, when he steps in. I think it's gonna be a little bit more similar to the Minnesota kind of path than it is going to be like the Bears path. Again, I think this is going to be a pretty rough season for them. And again, we all know how I feel about rookie quarterbacks and their ability to step in and succeed right away. Again, ironic coming off the season that CJ had, but I've talked enough about him. Anyways, Patriots, week 1 against Bengals. The Bengals are going to win. Then they play the Seahawks at home. They're going to lose. They play at the Jets. They're going to lose. They play at the Niners. They're going to lose. And then they play the Dolphins at home. This is where we get one of the few victories we have for them all season. It kind of seems like they, both sides of this, when the Dolphins were bad, they seemed to pull out a couple of victories against the Patriots with Tom Brady and then vice versa. I just think this is going to be one of the games the Pats win. The division games get a little tricky, as we know. And then they play the Texans. They lose. They play the Jags. We finally get another win here. They beat the Jags. They play the Jets. They lose. Then they play the Titans. They win there. And then they go on just an absolute stinker. I think this is probably right around when May steps in. They play the Bears. The Bears win. They play the Rams. The Rams win. Play Dolphins. They win. Play the Colts. Colts win. Play the Cardinals. Cardinals win. They play the Bills. The Bills win. And now they play against the Chargers. I think they're going to beat the Chargers after losing 6 straight. Yeah, right? Woo! And then you play the Bills the final game of the season. The Bills are actually going to have something to at least play for at this point. The Bills are going to win. They go 4-13. They're going to have a top 10 draft pick, and it's not going to be a very fun season for them. Again, I think year 2 is always going to be a good year to look for because you hope that quarterback takes that next leap in May. If you guys have listened to the podcast, May was, I don't want to say clearly, but May was definitely my second favorite quarterback in this class. Doesn't have a whole lot to do with May. Again, there's going to be your rookie struggles, but I just think there's a lot of rebuilding that needs to happen with this team. This will be the first year without Bill for like 20 years or something. Like, I don't know how long he's been the coach there, but it's been a very, very long time. It's going to be a whole new team, whole new coaching staff. I don't want to say whole new coaching staff, but a big turnaround in the coaching staff there. It's going to be a tough season to watch for the Patriots, but who cares? Because they got 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So 4-13.
I've got an interesting question for you, but we'll wait until after mine. Regarding the Patriots, I'm going to start off by saying they're losing the first 4 games. Bengals, Seahawks, Jets, 49ers, Dolphins. 5 games. Sorry. They will. Nope. Wait. Hold on a minute.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, they lose the first 7 games according to my predictions so far.
Okay.
They lose the first 7 games. They lose against Bengals, Seahawks, Jets, 49ers, Dolphins, Texans, Jaguars. They beat the Jets at home, though. It's tough to beat a team twice, in the NFL.
I'm excited to talk about the Jets. We'll do the Jets next week.
Too.
I'm excited. We're going to have a guest on, but that's besides the point.
I have them actually going on a 2-game win streak. They beat the Titans as well, so that's cool.
I thought you were going to say I thought you were going to say a 2-game win streak after the Jets. I'm like, You're gonna have the Patriots beat the Bears? I'm like,
No.
Whoa!
I promise you, no. They actually don't win another game the rest of the season, so they're going 2-15 according to my predictions.
Wow.
I just don't see them beating the Bears. The Rams are just too good of a team compared to the Patriots. I like the Dolphins as a whole more, so I think that it's kind of crazy, to be honest with you, that the Patriots beat the Dolphins once in your predictions. But to each their own. I know the Dolphins kind of squeak out once in a while, so it's possible. I don't see them beating the Colts this year. The Colts are a fun team always. Cardinals are going to be a lot of fun. Bills as well. We're about to talk about them. That one's going to be good. Both games, but yeah, and then the Chargers as well. I had the Chargers actually beating them. So, but my fun question: if the Patriots were to get Brandon Ayuk, how much does that change your schedule prediction? Like, or I guess record prediction?
Honestly, probably not too much. I mean, I think like 4 wins is probably their ceiling, even with Brandon Ayuk, maybe 5. Again, there's a lot that needs to happen again outside of 1 or 2 positions. Like the entire roster needs to be rehauled. Basically, again, it's gonna be kind of a new culture. The reason I hesitate with that when I talk about coaching turnover is that like they just hired Mayo. And it's not like it's a whole new person or whole new culture. They retained like half their staff. Again, Bill kind of just stepped down and then they just took the next in line there. So culture's not completely gone, but it's definitely, you don't have the best coach in the history of the league. And I don't think that's a hot take at this point. It's just going to be rough. It's going to be rough. Brendan Ayuk or not Brendan Ayuk. I don't think it changes much.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly, I don't think it changes drastically. Like, it's not like they're a playoff contender. I do think, I think they're more around 5 or 6 games at this point then. I think they might.
You think Brendan Ayuk adds 4 games?
Potentially. I mean, we'll see, I mean, I guess we won't, but like, it's
we could.
It's
fun.
We could. It's not impossible.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say it has a lot to do with their offense. Their defense, when everyone was healthy last year, was a good defense. And again, they kept Mayo, who was their DC. They just bumped him up to head coach there. So if they do win 4 games or something, it's gonna all be on the back of their defense. So I don't know.
Yeah. So next up, Bills. Here we go. What a fall off, man. All I gotta say before mine. I'm not big on them at all. And let me just say this as well.
Is Stephon Diggs really that big of a like? I don't know. Like, I don't have them like.
I think it's a huge factor. It's not only
I still have them making the playoffs, but.
Oh, I don't at all. This is a top 10 draft pick team, in my opinion. I looked at this roster altogether. I think their D line is probably the most exciting thing about this entire team. And not only that, but like, okay, let me just say this.
Quarterback in the league.
Which is my next question. And I get it. Josh Allen's good, right? Take out Josh Allen. Like, I'm just saying, like,
oh, come on.
No, I'm not using that as part of my prediction. I'm saying look at the rest of the roster. Take off Josh Allen. How many games did they win? I mean, it's not great.
4 or 5. I mean, they're going to be where the Patriots are at, but then you add that they have the best score. Well, one of the best.
This schedule is so hard. It's tough.
And they have James Cook. They drafted a young wide receiver again. Obviously, Keon Coleman isn't going to step in and take over their production that Stephon Diggs had. But I don't think it's as bad. I don't think it's as bad as what you think. I'll be interested to see how it turns out, but I think they're going to be pushing to make the playoffs. I'd be wildly shocked if we come week 17/week 18 and there's not a scenario for the Bills to make the playoffs. But
at this point for the Bills, and like I said, I'm pretty happy with how I am with my predictions as far as going this far. But let's go ahead and get it started. Enough talk. Cardinals, week 1, I said Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to make some noise in week 1 as soon as possible, and Kyler Murray is going to be back as well. They're going to be riding off that momentum. This team got better. I'm taking the Cardinals. Week 2 in Miami against the Dolphins. I have to go the Dolphins here. I mean, I'm not a fan of that Bills defense as a whole, and I mean, I don't think they're stopping Tyreek. I did have the Jaguars beating the Bills as well. I think Trevor Lawrence can take over and be able to win this game for Jacksonville. So, they'll take it in Buffalo. If this was later in the season, I think it'd be a little bit closer just because that Buffalo weather is just difficult. But anyways, in Baltimore against the Ravens, they're losing as well. In Houston against the Texans, they're losing that one as well. So they're starting off 0-5 to start the season. Then they beat the Jets at MetLife. They beat the Titans at home. And then they'll lose to the Seahawks in Seattle. They'll lose to Miami at home. They'll beat the Colts in Indy. They're going to lose to the Chiefs, the annual Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen matchup. They're losing to the Chiefs in Buffalo. Losing to the 49ers in Buffalo. They're going to lose to the Rams in LA. They're going to lose to the Lions in Detroit. They're beating the Patriots. They're going to sweep the Patriots, like I said. But they're losing to the Jets at home. So 5-12. That's it.
Wow. Okay, no, and by the way, I don't know. I don't think you're giving the roster enough credit. Again, I think they have a young wide receiver they drafted, I guess, in the second round.
I hope they prove me wrong.
Basically a first round pick in Keon Coleman, one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. James Cook, who played great down the stretch of last season and looks to continue to build on the back of that. They have Dalton Kincaid, who looked like a really fun young budding tight end. They have not a bad offensive line. Like, I don't think it's like the best offensive line in the league, but I'm not looking at it saying it's bad. Deion Dawkins is good. Osiris Torrance is hopefully going to take that step up. They have a guy in Connor McGovern who you wanted your team. Oh, that's funny because they ended up with Connor McGovern and Cedric Van Pran. 2 centers that you wanted throughout at different points in the offseason. I just wanted a
center. I'll be honest with you.
Like you said, their defensive line is fun. They have Matt Milano, who's one of the best linebackers in the entire league. Rasul Douglas is one of the better cornerbacks in the league. Taylor Rapp is fun to watch. So I think the roster is a little bit better than maybe what you were making it out to be. I like it a little bit better than you. The big hole is for me that linebacker spot, and then corner number 2, or not linebacker, is that wide receiver spot, and then corner number 2. You're really hoping Khalil Shakir can take the step forward and Keon Coleman can ball out, because like outside of that, it's MVS, Chase Claypool, and Mac Hollins and Curtis Samuel. So like not many players you are excited about there in the wide receiving core. So like I said, that room scares me. And then like corner 2, but I think it might be a little bit better than what you're giving it credit for. 5 wins is a little wild.
What are you seeing? All seeing Ben Hansen, tell me please. What is the great mind of Ben Hansen seeing here for the Bills?
Yeah. Really quickly. Let's hammer this down here. As grown adults, as guys who are both 21, I'll bet you a drink that the Bills finish within 1 game of the Bears win or loss column.
Within 1, you said?
Well, yeah, within 1. So let's say the Bears win 10 games. Like the Bills have to win either 9, 10, or 11 games.
What if the Bears win 7 and the Bills win 9? Does that mean I get the drink?
No.
I'm just saying,
come on.
Just tell me that you think the Bills are going to win more than the Bears, because I know that's what you're getting at. Let's be honest.
Well, I think they could.
The
reason I said within 1, like that's why I kind of set the spread there. But
yeah. Okay.
But
okay,
I'll jot
that down.
I could see them tying.
What are the drink bets that we have already? I mean, let's see. One drink. I want to say Bears making the playoffs, right?
Bears make the playoffs was one.
Okay.
That one was for sure.
And then the next, I think this is the second one that we've done. We don't drink like that. Let's just preface that like on here.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's just when we see each other, I'll buy you a drink if my bet loses, essentially.
We're going out and
Odds are we buy each other a drink when we're out anyways. So let's just be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So within one, the Bills, awesome, sweet. All right. So Bills, week 1. Bills are going to win. I'm sorry. I think the Cardinals are going to be fun. This is not the same Cardinals team of 2 years ago now at this point where I was like bet against the Cardinals every week. I think the Cardinals are going to be a fun team. I just think the Bills are better. They have a better coaching staff and they have a better quarterback. That being said, they go on a little bit of losing the next 5 games against the Dolphins, Jags, Ravens, Texans, and Jets. So they start out the season 1-6. Bills fans right now are probably pooping themselves. Ryan is pumping his fists up in the air because he thinks he just won a free drink. But now it starts picking up here. They're gonna beat the Titans. They're gonna beat the Seahawks, and then they're gonna beat the Dolphins.
Are you not a Dolphins
have them lose to the Colts. I think Dolphins are fine. I have them splitting with the Dolphins. The Dolphins don't move the needle with me because of their quarterback. But
gotcha. Okay.
We'll get into it next week. We have them splitting with the Dolphins, though. So, but yeah, we have them beating the Titans, Seahawks, and Dolphins. We have them losing to the Colts and Chiefs. But then we're going to have them bounce back. And then, like a shocker, the Brandon Ayuk-less 49ers lose to the Bills. And then the Bills beat the Rams as well. They lose to the Lions, and then they win out the last 3 games of the season against the Patriots, Jets, and Patriots again, finishing them at 9-8, which is probably on the border of them making the playoffs. I don't think it'll be good enough for them to make the playoffs. The AFC is just fantastic this year. Yeah. But I think it's going to be – I think they're going to be close. I think they're going to be in playoff contention.
Yeah,
9-8 for them. Right. It's going to be the most mediocre year you can ever see. But again, it's not great. Yeah, it's not great. But when you have
welcome to the James Cook Show.
Yeah, well, yeah, but when you have a quarterback as good as Josh Allen, and again, you have a decent defense, a good offensive line, a good running back. It's hard for me to have them not at least somewhere around 500.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking up Josh Allen without Stephon Diggs. Is there? No, I can't.
I think he had 1 year without him. I think it was his rookie year.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll get to it. We've got a more fun segment to talk about.
Yes.
That's College Football 25, something that's been on our minds for the last 48 hours, something that's been trending. Guys, so much fun. So let me just start off by clarifying the thing that Ben is just so upset about. Okay.
I'm peeved. I'm peeved. I'm sorry. Continue.
We all picked smaller schools to go and coach, right? I was an offensive coordinator at San Jose State,
which I didn't know until 5 hours ago. But
yeah, I decided not to be a head coach. That was like a last second decision as I was playing the game. Like I made that. I was originally going to be a head coach, but I decided not to. Ben, you were, what was yours again? Oh wait, I could see it. Coastal Carolina, right? Yeah. And then Matt was North Texas. Okay.
Not North Texas, Texas State.
Texas State, sorry. Yeah. So I don't know what Matt's story was. I have not played college football with him since about, I want to say like 6 o'clock ish.
That was so long ago.
4 hours ago, but he's done a lot in 4 hours to be able to switch to where he's at now. He is now the defensive coordinator for Georgia. I don't know what happened, but can't speak for him. For mine, in the first year, I won the Heisman with my quarterback. We went all the way to the national championship and lost to Georgia. In the second year, we had a top 40 recruiting class and went all the way to the national championship and won. And then now I'm in my third year and I got a job offer to be able to become the head coach for Notre Dame's football team. And so I decided to do that because I accomplished what I wanted to do, was win a championship for a smaller school. I made them a top 15 annual, team because they're still ranked very high and their class was very good. It's just the reason why I went with Notre Dame compared to the other offers, which I had. It was Louisville. It was obviously Notre Dame. It was Purdue, and then there was an offensive coordinator spot of Oklahoma State. Notre Dame had a top 10 recruiting class, so I had to go with them because I was like, this team is just so
this
good.
Game is fake and unreal, guys. Notre Dame top 10 recruiting class. Anyways,
it just made sense. That, and I'm a little biased anyways because Drake Bowen was a junior at this point, and a senior now at this point in the game. Drake Bowen, if you guys don't know, is a middle linebacker for Notre Dame that was from Northwest Indiana. I broadcasted, I want to say 3 or 4 of his games. So dude's a dog, and I've been kind of following him ever since. He has no idea who I am. So it's not like we're, buds or anything like that. It's just more so like, it's cool that this kid's from the area. And I made my broadcasting career, I guess, debut on the radio during his games. So there's some sentiment there. It's just, I wanted to coach him, and now I do. So go Fighting Irish. I don't know.
Okay. So Ryan explained the situation here. I have in staying with Coastal Carolina. I am of the belief
Ben's been working, by the way, so he hasn't put in nearly as many hours as me and Matt. So
no. I am of the belief when you start a dynasty, you were starting a dynasty for your team, not for you as a coach. So when I had picked Coastal Carolina, I had picked Coastal Carolina not for me as a coach because I wanted to succeed as a coach, but me because I want to take Coastal Carolina to the next step. So I will play Coastal Carolina, and I'm going to rebuild Coastal Carolina until I win like 5 chips with them. And then once I do that, that dynasty is over. And then I will start another one, and I will do, US or University of like Southern Florida, something, whatnot. Yeah. Just some team. I'm of the belief when you start a dynasty, you're doing it for the college, not for for your coaching. So it threw me off when both you and Matt had switched teams from your guys' original teams. Not and to each their own. I'm not going to tell anyone how to play this game because it is a great game. It's a phenomenal game. Anyone who was worried about this being a Madden reskin is just absolutely wrong. It's a great game. Give me 1 second here, guys.
Yeah, you could not be more wrong if you think that this game's anything like Madden. And I was just telling Ben right before this, I think that this is probably the best sports game I have ever played. And this is honestly, the most amount of fun that I've had since 2K was actually good with my career. You know what I mean? I want to say it was the Paul George cover. I don't remember exactly which one that was. Let me look it up now. Let's see. It was 2K17.
I think it was 16. 17. I was off.
Yeah, you're almost there. But that one was awesome. The only problem was that the files kept corrupting. But nonetheless, that was probably one of the most fun ones, to where there's actually a story. But here's the thing. If you have any sense of imagination, you'll find out if you play this game. If you do not put your imagination in with it, this game, it's still fun, don't get me wrong, but it multiplies the amount of fun that you are going to have by a million.
You gotta lean into it.
There's nothing like it. And I was just telling Matt this too, and it's sad because if you think of it like this, we are at the peak of this game right now. There will never be another feeling just like it. because it just came out, and who knows
even
if we'll be
even
able
if they
to.
come out with the next one next year, it's not going to be the same after the 10-year wait.
It'll never be the same. So this is what we'll be talking about for years and years and years. So that being said, my mentality with it is when I turn on my PlayStation and I put on the headset and I grab the controller, I do not just grab a controller. I grab a play sheet. Okay. When I put on that headset, I'm talking to players in the headset. I'm calling plays and stuff. Sketch made it popular. I'm doing it. I'm carrying the trend. I'm calling plays. I'm screaming out names and expletives. And it's so much fun. Where, you know, I mean, it is so much fun when you put your imagination into it. I was talking to Caitlin about it, my girlfriend, for those of you that don't know. And I'm like, listen, I get into this game. So, you know, when you're over, you know what I mean? I might be playing this at some point, or you might see me playing this, and I might be screaming at the TV, you know, what am I giving you a scholarship for? You know what I mean? That's something you might hear, you know? So I'm just letting you know. I hope that moving my microphone away did something.
No, it helped. It helped.
But you know, I'm just saying it'll be pretty intense. But you know, I'm telling you, by the way, and you know, I'm sure we'll dive into a little bit more while we still have time. If you get this game or if you play it, for the love of God, don't play Heisman mode. Like just difficulty, don't do it.
It is very difficult.
If you can, that's great. But consensus says don't do
it.
it.
If you want to enjoy your playing experience, don't play Heisman.
And do not pick underdog for road.
Oh my God.
You will not play.
Ryan had hit that point. So the first day we had gotten it, I had played a little bit of Dynasty, and then while Ryan and Matt were playing Dynasty, I had started my Road to Glory. I was underdog, and I was telling them about how I was a junior and I was now just getting my first snaps. And Ryan and Matt were both like, no, it can't be that bad. No, guys, it's that bad. Like if you pick an underdog, like if you go that route, you're playing Student Simulator. Like all you're doing is trying to get your GPA up and building your leadership skills. Like you're just not going to touch the field. And like I'm not even at a big program. I'm at North Texas. Like so do yourself a favor. Do not play underdog. It is it's frustrating. Just have a little bit of fun with it. Maybe be a contributor or a blue chip or All American. I forget what that is. The top two ones, but that's the point. I will say, like Ryan was saying, so much fun with the game. Again, if you're going into it thinking,
you're good. You're good. Keep going.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Wi-Fi's cut, I think.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry, guys. But if you're going into this thinking that it's Madden, it's not. And it had taken like Ryan, even I think it took Ryan like 2 or 3 games to like figure it out, and because he had went into it with the Madden mindset. And I think what helped me is I had the Madden pass settings on it, so it took me a little less time to figure it out. But like it is just a different game than that. Ryan whooped on me 3 separate times because you have to take better tackling angles. You have to make sure you're not trying to hit stick people. And like the control on the player in this game is unreal. It is a great game. There's a reason that 750,000 people were on at the highest peak on Monday. Again, if you had any qualms or worries about this game, do yourself a favor, buy it. I'm pretty sure the standard edition comes out at 4:00 tomorrow, so Thursday. Do yourself a favor. You are not going to regret it. Ryan was spot on. It is, I think, probably the best sports game I've ever played, and it's within the top 5 of my favorite games I've ever played, and I've had it for a whopping 3 days.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We're going to talk about it a little bit more. So stay posted. Obviously, we got to get one more segment out of the way, but then we'll be back into it, just to kind of give you guys a little bit more of insight into Dynasty. So let's dive into the next segment so we can get to it.
It's time for America's favorite game, Weddle.
All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. I forgot how to present. Here we go. Okay. So all right, Weddle. Let's hope that Ben doesn't snipe another Bears player this week. I'm gonna go.
Keep it going.
Or no, yeah. Do you want to do AJ Brown again?
Yeah, sure. AJ Brown. I was just talking about sniping Bears players from me. My favorite thing.
Yeah. All right. So
the disappointment and the yow. Yeah, in his voice. Just you can hear his heart ache.
Yeah. Let's go with oh man. Okay, I'm thinking high number Kittle. Which, by the way, if you guys watch, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Take your time. I have been watching Receivers on Netflix during my lunch breaks and stuff at work.
I'm on where I say dog.
George Kittle is the coolest tight end in the league, and you can't tell me otherwise. George Kittle's awesome. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. Okay, tight end in the NFC West should be easy. Is it Higbee?
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that just a guess, or did you actually think that it was him?
No, I thought it was Higbee. I mean, based off the age, it couldn't have been Trey McBride because the play was above 30, and then based off of age, it couldn't have been George Fan either. Or Noah Fan.
Yeah.
All right. Defensive player in the NFC. Hopefully, it's in the NFC East. Hopefully, it's an Eagle. Toby Dean.
NFC East.
Oh, it is the East. Should have a hand up in this.
They didn't keep McKinney, did they? I don't think they did. No, he's on the Packers now.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is in? Let's just go with Diggs. Not great.
It's Bland.
Oh, sorry. All right. Bland, you said?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
He's
on a tear, guys.
Woo! That John Bland should not have probably been there. Woo! What's the record at?
42-25, Ben, right now. Let's just acknowledge the fact that I brought it within 10, and then since then you've been on a 7-game win streak.
I had to lock in real quick. I had to lock. I was playing with my food, like the USA basketball team.
Oh my gosh. Next up, you guys already know.
What? Yeah. What's the name of the segment? Oh, you're not talking about Ryan and Ben? Oh, okay. Well, hold on. I've got it. It's time for Gridiron Goofs.
All right, guys. Let's do it. Best teams to rebuild in college football 25. I mean, we can call it a draft if you want. We're just going to go back and forth for 10 teams that we think are awesome to rebuild in college football 25.
Just fun teams. Yeah.
Just to get
this
you guys
is all opinion based.
Yeah. I'm going to do mine strictly off of how cool the stadium is, how cool the jerseys are, and how small the school is. That's really it.
I was gonna say I feel like we have to be in agreement. And I think that's part of the reason why I wasn't a fan of you taking the Notre Dame job, is because I feel like when you do Dynasty, you have to do a small school, and taking like a big school is a no. But that's besides the point. Again, to each their own. Everyone plays the game a little bit different. But I'm gonna stick with the small schools here. Ryan had already mentioned it. I'm Coastal. Coastal's just fun, man. Coastal has a history of the past couple of years of being good. They have amazing uniforms. They have a fun field. They have like a turquoise field. They're just fun, man. The Sun Belt's a fun team to do, and then you can build them up and get them right in the ACC. It's perfect. I'm having a lot of enjoyment, being the Coastal head coach.
Yeah. My next one, I'm gonna go with UTEP.
Oh, UTEP was actually on my list. Their stadium is beautiful.
It's a really nice stadium. I like their uniforms as well, and I mean it's a smaller school in terms of football, to where you're not going to see them in the top 25 every year. That's another thing that I like to take into consideration as far as when the last time they were in the top 25. So, let's see. But yeah, I don't know.
Long time is what it was.
But yeah, go ahead.
I will say another thing about this game that I had forgotten.
2005, by the way.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing that I had mentioned too is like, obviously this shouldn't be like a surprise when I say this, and it shouldn't come as a shocker. The skill gaps, even within the Power Four conference, is like wild. One of the games that me and Ryan had played was Cal versus Florida. I was Cal, he was Florida, and it just wasn't a competition. There was no one for me to throw to, guys. It was awful. And my defense could lock up his offense for like 5 seconds, 6 seconds. And my defensive line wasn't getting home. It just like the skill gap between like teams when you're playing head to head is like definitely felt between like a group of 5 and Power 4. And then even like the better group of 4 or even the better like Power 4 schools versus like the worst Power 4 schools. So just a heads up there. The next one, I was actually going to go UTEP.
That was a crazy poll from my part. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're all good. We have to lead them here. We're going to keep up with the fun fields. We're going to do Boise. I was deciding between Coastal and Boise. Boise's going to be fun because I'm blanking on his name, but they have a young quarterback there that they got from USC last year, and they have Ashton Gentry, I think is how you pronounce his last name, who I think will be the best running back in all of college football like this year. Like, he's that good of a player. And then again, you want to raise them back to the powerhouse that they were once, 10 years ago now at this point in the group of 5 and again, hopefully get them promoted to a Power 4 school. It's just Boise. Football is better when Boise's good.
Yeah. My next one's going to be East Carolina. That was one that I was really, really kind of thinking about just because they're really, really cool, man. I mean, if you look at it, man, the ECU Pirates, I mean, they're purple and yellow. Their stadium's beautiful. You know what I mean? It's a cool team. Their helmets are so cool. What'd you say?
So that's where Zay Jones went to school.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. That's one that's definitely going to be rebuilt by me in the future.
Malachi Nelson, by the way, was the name of the quarterback I was blanking on.
Okay.
So, yeah, again, it's whatever suits your fancy here. I'm gonna pick a Power 5 school or a Power 4 school. Still kind of getting used to saying that. I'm gonna pick Boston College. Boston College has been just outright bad basically since the Matt Ryan era. And they have one of the most fun quarterbacks in all of college football. How many yards? I think he had the most rushing yards outside of Jalen Daniels last year. I'm blanking on his first name, but it's Castellanos is his last name. And running quarterbacks in this game it's like crack. It's much different. Like if you're gonna be good, you have to have. I should have worded that a little bit better, guys. I'm sorry. You have to have a good mobile quarterback, and they're fun. You want to get a Power 5, Power 4 school back to prominence. And let's be honest, those red bandana jerseys are top top 3 in college football. I was going to say number 1. Oregon probably hasn't beat somewhere, but Boston College.
Okay. My next one is going to be Marshall.
What's on that list?
Marshall's, I mean, a lot of fun, man. They haven't won a lot recently. So, overall, like I said, my 3 boxes are checked off. Stadium, jerseys, not that successful recently.
Hey, they beat Notre Dame last year.
Hey, there you go. But I'm just saying, overall, Notre Dame had a down year as it is. So, but carry on.
This one is easy. I mean, if we're going to continue the amazing jerseys here, we're going to go with we had talked about this when the jerseys had dropped, actually, and it is one of my favorite jerseys. I said top 3 there for Boston College. I have no clue why my camera cut out, by the way, guys. We're having some technical difficulties on my end here. But some of the best jerseys in all of college football here, and that's FIU with these beautiful Vice jerseys. And it's literally, this is the reason to play FIU, is because they're bad and they have cool jerseys. And I've also kind of been enamored with FIU, like on a personal level, since Alec Magoo's been their quarterback like 6 years ago now at this point. But how could you not root for a team wearing these beautiful jerseys?
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to go with South Florida then while we're on the topic.
Another fun mobile quarterback there, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, that might be my next one, honestly. If I had gotten the job offer from them instead of Notre Dame, I probably would have taken it, I'll be honest with you. But, I mean, overall, let me just present my screen just like Ben did. When it comes down to them, I mean, look at this.
Their jerseys. I don't know. I don't get it.
I love it.
Doesn't make sense to me. And it's not just you. Like a lot of people love these jerseys.
I love them.
I can't do it. I can't get
that might be the next move, honestly.
I don't understand how people on one hand can say those are fire jerseys and then turn around and poop on Michigan State's jerseys from a couple years ago when it was that same green on the lighter green colors there, which I think that was also awful jerseys in its own right. But there are people saying that the Southern Florida jerseys are amazing, and then we'll turn around and be like, those Michigan State jerseys are awful. Now can you pull those jerseys back up for me?
The South Florida one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to show you guys something here.
I had to separate my screen really quick just because I didn't want you to see my tab and then take my pick. But anyways.
Well, this will be the last pick anyways. And I already have it in mind. So
these are just so cool. Let us know what you think, because I'm in love with the darker ones.
I need to find these. So the reason I wanted you to pull it up is because of these guys. So take a nice long look at the ones that Ryan have shown, that the dark on the dark green one. Well, go to the dark green ones. Yeah, those ones. So people are like, those jerseys are fantastic. And then in the same vein, we'll be like, oh, but these jerseys are really bad. They're both bad. They're the same jersey. And they're just dog trash both ways.
The big state across it that doesn't even look like it fits on the jersey is my breaking point.
That's besides the point. My last one is going to be UAB. They're just, UAB's fun, and let's be honest, the reason I'm picking them is because their mascot's a dragon. And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Who did you pick after Boston College? Like, what was your last pick?
What was my last pick? I did Boise, Boston College, Coastal Carolina, UAB, and FIU.
FIU. Yep, that's the one.
That's
okay.
what it was.
Sorry, I just didn't write it down.
No, yeah, you're all good. But UAB, just because they're a dragon. Let's be honest. Rebuilding a dynasty team has nothing to do with the current roster, because in 2 years, the roster turnover is going to be out the window anyways. And UAB like had a team and then didn't have a team, and now they have a team again. But again, at the end of the day, they're the UAB Blazers and are a dragon. So there you go. And they're also green and gold. So thank you very much, UAB.
Yeah. Let me see. What was the one that I almost picked?
Charlotte was another one I wanted to do. Charlotte seems fun. I also run Charlotte's playbook. Like, my offense is Charlotte's playbook. I love Charlotte's spread playbook. It is fantastic.
I'm going Arkansas State.
Arkansas strictly because when you score a touchdown, that fountain goes off.
Yeah, it's so cool. And then not only that, I was gonna do Kent State was my honorable mention. I just thought of Arkansas State and how cool their stadium was, though. But anyways, Ben, any closing comments? We got time.
Yeah, we have plenty of time. Next week's episode is gonna be on Tuesday. It is me and Mary's anniversary that Wednesday. So obviously we're not going to be doing the show Wednesday on the night of our anniversary.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, if you guys liked Evan, make sure you guys tune into next week's episode. We wanted to do the Jets episode with Evan because just like Ryan's going to have, Evan has strong opinions on Aaron Rodgers. we know Ryan's opinions on Aaron Rodgers at this point.
That guy sucks.
But that's
Joking on water, geez.
You're all good. And then, guys, this time next week, Bears training camp is going to be like full swing. It had started up this week, right?
Yes. I think the first practice was today.
Yeah, and then it's going to be like full like swing. They're just like warming up and everything this week. But hopefully by the time next week, it's going to be full. Like, we're going to have some news. We did have news that they like signed both of them. Actually, really quick, they did sign both of them. I don't know how true this is, and maybe you could speak a little bit more on this. Caleb Williams' contract. Did you see the hidden detail that he put in there about the franchise tag?
He wanted to. I doubt that they actually did it, but
okay,
whatever. Yeah. So basically, what Ben's talking about is Caleb Williams wanted a clause in his contract that said that he could not be franchise tagged after his 5th year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think that's a factor. There were all different kinds of ways that Caleb was talking about, taxes, stuff like that. It's about money right now. Clearly, it's contract negotiations, but basically there were different situations in which he had even talked about being, listed as an LLC. That way he can be taxed differently. But it's just not. It doesn't work that way in the NFL. So,
But
there's. Nonetheless, the contract's done. Let's get it over with. Let's play football. I'm tired of all of the bad narratives around this guy. Let him play the game, please. It's done. It's over with. He doesn't want partial ownership. Any BS. I mean, he might want a no trade clause later on, but like no franchise tag clause. That's never been a thing, dude. Like, okay. Anyway,
that I will say. At Camden at the Hall of Fame, watching Caleb Williams throw the ball to Rome Odunze, it's going to be fantastic
beautiful
in a month, just over a month, right?
Not even. We're less than a month away. I think 2 weeks away. Just because August 1st. Let's see. It is 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Wow.
So we've got our first football game. It's almost here.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Anyways,
all right, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We want to thank Spotify for Podcasters, Regional Radio Sports Network, and Uppercuts Grooming for helping us grow as a podcast. Just a reminder, follow our Instagram. And then follow me personally.
Yes,
obviously follow Ben, but follow me because for some reason, this is where you're going to find our live streams until further notice. So, thanks, Elon Musk. We'll see you guys next week.